Yo, what's going on, guys? And we're hearing that our man Alex Caruso is basically still untouchable unless you're willing to offer some Godfather deal. The Bulls are asking for multiple first round picks to even consider Alex Caruso trade. I want to hear your thoughts down below. If you're an Alex Caruso fan or a Bulls fan, would you do the trade? The quote from Jake Fisher is Alex Caruso would mark a dream outcome for the Milwaukee Bucks and many other franchises that are contending for a championship. But Chicago has indicated the Bulls would need multiple first round picks to even considering parting ways with Alex Caruso. League sources told Jake Fisher of Yahoo Sports. If Chicago even wants to move him at all, it's gonna be a lot. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. What would you guys give up to get Mr. Yes, Alex Caruso? And is it worth it? Is untouchable. And the Bulls are turning their season around. And supposedly it's seemingly like the only player that the Bulls want to trade if they were required to trade somebody, it would be Zach LaVine. And Zach LaVine's basically said he's only shown up to work because it's, those are the office hours. But the most sought after commodity on the Bulls roster is still Alex Caruso. The Sun Times has reported throughout the season that Alex Caruso is almost deemed untouchable. A source indicates that has not changed, and that if they want, I think the offer has to start with 2 first-round picks. And Caruso is much more valuable to a contender than he is on the Bulls roster. He's 30 years old. Yes, he has an injury history that is longer than most people, and the Bulls are 18 months away from actually being in a playoff game. Given Caruso's price tag, it's likely that he'd fetch a lot more than DeMar or Zach LaVine would, due to the fact that most of the league would want to trade for him. Similarly to how Kyle Kuzma is being viewed by the rest of the league, as these are 2 players that are very versatile on good deals that the league is very interested in. When you look at a guy like Alex Caruso, Mr. Caruso, 6'5", with a nice wingspan, obviously fan favorite wherever he goes. One of the best defenders in the league, dives for the loose balls. His intensity on that side of the ball is insane. And the thing is he knows how to guard opposing offenses, especially in the playoffs. We saw it during that Lakers run. And he's the definition of a low maintenance player. You never hear Alex Caruso in the media. And he has great basketball instincts and IQ. His feel for the game is second to none. When he wants, he can attack to the rim. He won't create his own shot, but he can score in transition. He's not the most creative guy, but he can be a playmaker secondary. And his three, like you said, his efficiency is just insane this year, that you can't just leave him open, and you got to respect him. So I think that's why you have half the league wanting to trade for him. But at this point, 2 firsts is nuts. Yeah, I agree with that. 2 firsts is nuts. Chicago fans watching this video are going to be like, I told you. Alex Caruso is not being discussed in trade talks. He's basically untouchable, they're saying. So what Shams Charania wrote is that a bevy of teams have expressed interest in trading for Chicago Bulls utility Swiss Army superstar Alex Caruso, who supposedly is worth 2 first-round picks, they're saying. And league sources says that they've shut down any trade talks. Caruso, who's making 9.9 next season, is only partially guaranteed. He's averaging 9.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists through 20 games this season, and he's just somebody that they're not trading whatsoever. So just know, if you're a fan of Alex Caruso and the Caruso machine, just know he's not going anywhere. And it's awesome. I mean, this guy is a tireless defender, one of the best in the league. He's a fan favorite on any team. He'll dive, hustle for loose balls. He's got an insane defensive motor. The guy literally dictates how an offensive plays when he's on the floor. And the guy needs no maintenance. He's got a great basketball IQ, feel, instincts for the game, can attack the rim even, and even create for himself a little bit when need to. He's not a creative playmaker or scorer, but he can do it if he needs to be the 3rd or 4th option. And he's become a decent 3-point shooter. You can't leave this guy open. So for me, I think this is an awesome situation, and one that just going to show hey, it's a good situation they got brewing there. And if you're a fan of the Bulls, I would be like, yes, we're not trading him because he's so important for us. That's how I would feel. But maybe that's just me. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts down below. A little quick one, because I just want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about this? And yeah, Kobe White, by the way, is looking like a good reason why they need to get rid of LaVine, because Kobe White's freaking legit. But Caruso's the man. Will Alex Caruso be traded? Supposedly they're hesitant. Shout out KC Johnson for this information, link in the description. And let's get right into it. Like, comment, and subscribe. So, will they trade Caruso? He writes, everybody knows that he's a dog and a lot of people want him. And Caruso is a plus-minus monster. He's at absolute peak trade value, and supposedly he's a culture guy. And he's the certain type of player that, you know, people say that they don't want to trade him, that they would find it painful. And what Casey Johnson's reporting, that obviously everything can change from now to February 8th, but it looks like it'll have to be a solid offer, maybe a perfect over-the-top offer from a championship contending team, because they want to trade LaVine and then maybe have Caruso involved to get more assets. But Caruso is the, you know, obviously that supposedly the highest valued player on this team, and that's where it definitely becomes interesting, because when you look at this, what is his trade value? And I've heard second round picks, you know, that's something that's legit. People very much value Alex to a T and think he's one of the like irreplaceable, can't trade him. And that's where, like, I understand the idea that, okay, like, this is their guy. So that's where I want to hear your guys' opinions. What would you give up for, you know, for Caruso, and why? I think it definitely is an example of like how important some guys are, because you might not think like Caruso is someone that people like literally obsess over, but they are. They think he's like the best thing since sliced bread, and rightfully so, because he's a guy who, Alex Caruso, if you haven't followed this cat's one of the most high energy players in the league. Okay, he's a guy who any championship team would want him. All right, the easiest thing to say about him, he's like 6'5", he's got like a 6'6" or 6'7" wing, you know, wingspan, fan favorite, tireless defender, can guard 1 through 4, insane intensity, can, you know, low maintenance player, doesn't need the ball in his hand, he can facilitate if needed, he's got a 3-point shot, you can't leave him open, he can kind of create for himself, but not really. Like, it's awesome to watch him play. So, and he's averaging this year 9.8 points, 54% for the field, 48% from 3, just under 4 rebounds, just under 3 assists, about 1.5 steals, and just under a block a game. Like, tell me those numbers aren't nice, baby. Tell me those numbers aren't nice. And that's where you sit here and you're like, damn, okay, like, this might be, you know, legit and like sustainable. And I wonder, that makes me wonder, like, is it better if we do, you know, I want to say, like, is it better if they get rid of him now when it's peak value, or is it not worth it? That's, I think, the biggest question is, what is more worthy of it? So that's what I think. It's definitely a hard thing to figure out, but let me hear your thoughts.